All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the gender war between black women and black men, UK edition. We're going to see a lot of the same things we've been seeing here in America, to where it's spread to the Caribbean, the UK or Europe, Western Europe, Africa, and even some parts of Asia. So let's just take a look. And I'm not even gonna lie. This girl she looked like a girl that I used to know, but she looked better though. She looked way better. But let me guess her standard. Let me guess she wants a 6-figure guy, a rapper guy who's 6'5" or taller. You have to fly her out, buy her out, take her to an expensive restaurants every day, and she's not worried. She's not fucking with no broke nigga or nigga who doing a 9 to 5 or a guy who lives with his mama. She's tired. Let me guess. She's tired of niggas hollering at her, and they're on an Uber or they're on their best friend's ride with their broke ass.
Am I the first white guy you've ever spoken to?
Oh, I'm really into black guys. And I'm like, ugh.
My queen, my Nubian princess.
Can't repeat some of these things on camera.
Okay, I kind of forgot. Like here in the UK, black folks are more into interracial dating than here. They're more open about it. Like black men will. It's kind of like more even out, I guess, to say, versus here, because like here in America, you don't really expect black women to really date out that aggressively. But I guess in the UK, I guess black men and black women are like dating out or have an interest of dating out pretty much on the same spectrum, maybe a level.
What is it like dating as a black woman?
It's a minefield.
Pretty difficult.
The ghetto.
I'm gonna let it slip because we're in demand.
In one word, difficult.
Changes from person to person, experience to experience.
The guys that I do attract go from like, I really like you to borderline stalking.
If you're using dating apps, then you're definitely more fetishized.
Hello, chocolate princess. Or just things like that when you're just like, it's just been awful.
If people are trying to make a connection with you based on your heritage and not trying to make a connection with actually you.
There's like almost like a questionnaire, a bit of a test beforehand to see whether I like qualify. Sounds really bad, doesn't it? But it's the truth of the situation.
When did you start dating? How did you find it? All that good stuff.
You find yourself like going through pictures and it's like no blacks, no whites, or like only Asians.
It was literally everything on my list, and it's just like, are we gonna move forward? Like, we're still in the same position after a couple of months. Come on, sir.
Like, you hear some people talking shit for like 6-7 months. I'm like, what are you talking about? Some people don't have the cholesterol to be out here in the streets. Get it over with, move fast.
And even like going on dates.
Like a dinner, I don't know you. So do I really want to be sitting at a table with you for 2 hours? It could just go left.
It's hard.
I have had some meaningful, interesting experiences.
Not great, hence being single still.
If you're black and you go into certain settings and you can't even move your hips, then you're probably gonna be a guy that doesn't get a lot of pumps.
I want this guy, and he's moving like a snail, but the one I don't want is trying to take me out. He's trying to, send flowers to my house, but I don't want you. I want the other.
The modern dilemma of the modern black woman is global, universal even. Again, you can't complain about colorism. You can't complain about her hair or whatever. So what do the colorist crybabies have to say this time? They have nothing to say. But in reality, when it comes to black women, for black men, we have to somehow categorize and put ourselves in a box, whether or not we're even compatible, like black women like to say, for anybody. So again, as an educated lane, for me to even talk to her, she will look me up and down and be like, huh? Why don't you get with some anime girl or some comic dweeb or some shit? It's like, oh, what? And the funny thing about it is that black women think that the little shit they see on TV with Comic-Con and the few micro pockets of black women at cosplay. And who's to say not even into that type of shit? Girls into that stuff are like a very small microcosm. It's really not even enough to really say, oh, do I want to? It's not even enough to say like someone who wants to date a light skinned girl. There's plenty of light skinned girls. You can immediately step out the door and find a light skinned girl. I can't step out the door and find some like black female nerd who majority of people would say, oh, she's on your level. So again, I hate how black people portray dating, because they portray dating on this kind of social market to where this kind of social standard to where it's like, hey, if you're lame, if you're an educated black man, educated nerd, I'll just say a nerd. If you're a nerd black male, they kind of expect you to go with some nerdy black female. It's like, there's not that many of y'all. There's not like I can sense it or whatever. You just knowing a random girl that likes comic books doesn't mean that I'm attracted to. I should, as a black person, I should have a right to like all types of black people or black women. But no, black women have this kind of thinking to where it's like, you need to be liking some out there group of black women that hardly exist, and you leave us alone so we can date guys that we are actually attracted to. And then you guys get mad when those guys don't show you love, they don't show you appreciation, and then they brag about how other races of women are treating them better than you.
Guy, I want John.
Are we in the right sort of spaces to actually be appreciated by the people who should be appreciating us?
You probably get more success.
No. Black women refuse to be in places where black men who are of righteous means would love to appreciate them, would take good care of them. Of course not, because black women really don't even know what it's like to even be treated fair. And even for the most part, they don't even think that they deserve it. They don't even think that it's if it's right or whatever. They refuse. This is why you have educated lames who will tell you stories from high school to college to where they brought flowers, chocolates, and I'm not even afraid to admit that this happened to me. To where, hey, you bought these nice things out of appreciation and to break the ice, and you give it to the girl, and then next thing you know, she already ate the chocolates, but the note is still attached to the candy wrapper, and it's in the trash, unopened. And black women just and other black women watching literally just sit there and just be like, well, yeah, that's just what happens. Y'all aren't compatible. I had a girl that I knew since middle school, since the 6th grade, and she just turned 29, and I remember, I think like 3 years ago, I wanted to go on a date with her, and she didn't show up, and it was so frustrating to where I was like, hey, I like this girl for some years now, and I always wanted to talk to her, and now when I'm in a good enough position to where I have wheels, I have my own place, I can do whatever. Now all of a sudden, they have lesser interest in me than before. And I remember last year talking to a female who knew her, and I was like, hey, I tried talking to this girl, and she stood me up. She didn't even bother showing up. She didn't even bother texting me or letting me know if she was still going to go or not. And what this female told me was that, oh, y'all were just not compatible. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? How the hell do black women complain about not having meaningful relationships, not being married, being left with children, abuse, all this shit, and only for black women to continue to reject dates from men that they don't find attractive, and they're still dating Ray Ray and Pookie, trying to find something new? What sense does that make? And y'all worrying about compatibility and all that stupid shit.
And actually being in blacker spaces.
I shouldn't have to go to the black club, you know.
More often than not, it's quite a positive experience because, you know, it always has a happy ending.
Do you feel there's like a difference in dating for you because you're a black woman?
I think a lot of people can be quite closed-minded.
You do get the really ignorant.
I think with the atmosphere is that a lot of these niggas don't want to date each other, and I think they have a bigger gender war than us, because I would say the American gender war, black gender war, that's more of an online thing. Like, you can kind of still go outside and, you know, see black women and men kind of fairly getting along. This shit right here is like, this shit look like the online shit, but in real life. So you can kind of see kind of the disdain for the other gender, to where, you know, they're bitching and moaning about, I want to go to a club that's not labeled black. I want to meet all these type of races, but they keep telling me that I'm too black, or they don't date niggers and all that shit. So there's a lot of, I would say, so they're battling. They have like an identity crisis, to where they want to be proud of being black, but they want to be proud of being black in spaces, in token spaces, to where they want to be like, oh, I'm the pro-black person in an all-white school or all-white group, kind of like shows like Grownish or Dear White People, to where you're seeing kind of this weirdness of tokenized blacks. But then again, when you take these tokenized blacks to other black people, where black people are the majority, they don't even know how to act. They don't know how to socialize.
Sort of comments.
I just have to figure out, are you just racist or are you actually a good person?
I remember my first boyfriend, and actually, do you know what, because he's an ex, I do actually feel like I can out him in this moment. His sister was like, I never imagined him being with a black girl.
Well, I mean,
because look at these things are kind of, this is weird, because you would think they would have more interactions with each other, but these are really just niggas trying to get validation from white people. You know, it's like, is it that bad? Is the gender war in the UK that bad to where you have you composite groups of random black folks, and they can't even describe another relationship with another black folk? That's crazy.
Gay black man is very, very different to like straight men.
If you were a white person, you can just be, whereas if you're black, you have to be a certain type.
Obviously, there's like a lot of homophobia in the black community.
I could tell when somebody obviously, you know, really wants to get to know me, wants to date me, as opposed to, hey, you're cool or you're exotic or whatever.
Because you'll just find from those kind of people, you just probably wouldn't pursue anything serious. You'll probably fulfill their jungle fever fantasy and then just keep it moving.
Do you feel any pressure from your family to date someone of the same race?
100%. 100%.
I'm Nigerian.
I mean, he's already gay, so it's like, it really doesn't even matter who he comes home with. It's like, it don't even matter.
Let's just leave it as that.
I just laugh at it. I'm just like, okay, cool. I can date who I like.
No, you need to date like a black guy, you need to date this.
No matter who you bring home, just make sure they're a good person.
My family would much
This is why Africans look kind of stupid in the dating market, because they don't understand racial politics, and they just want to be. They want to take a Dr. King approach to dating, and it's like it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like, oh, I just want to be seen as a character. I just want to be seen as a person. I just want to be seen as a human being. That's my Idris Elba voice. I want to be seen as a human being that is not defined by his or her skin tone. Just because I am black does not mean that I am a criminal, that I am a rapper or an athlete or a football player. Man, y'all niggas are just stupid. And this is why Africa gets the biggest ass kicking in the fucking world. Because they know that, you know, y'all refuse to build yourselves up, and y'all tell us, you tell ADOS Americans that y'all are so better than us because y'all have culture, you have a strong lineage. But when we put you niggers in somewhere else, other than America, you guys can't even get along. You guys talk like you as if y'all don't even as y'all's counterparts don't even exist. Now, not one person can describe a relationship with another black person. And the title has nothing to do with white people. It doesn't even say anything about interracial dating. If I just clicked on it, I would have just assumed this is just about black people dating. Let me see if there's anything about it in the description box. Yeah, you wouldn't have known. You would have just thought it was yeah, you would have just thought that it was just about interracial. I mean, it was just about black relationships.
that I reach the top of my career field before I get married.
Within my...
It's not happening. So just get married now, but before you start you die alone thinking that you're going to be some kind of corporate exec. You're just going to be filing paperwork for 20 years. Don't get up in the ladder. Just get married now, chick.
Family, we're very multicultural, you know, we're very accepting.
I always told black women to...
But yet they're not very accepting of you. You know, and this is the issue with, again, I find it more with foreign blacks, because they are just so game goofy to where I think they like slavery a little bit. I think that they like they like being toted around and being seen as like that black person, like, oh yeah. Y'all have to forgive me. I kind of have a bit of a cold. I always tell black women to go where they're celebrated.
Where you're celebrated. I don't feel like life should be just limited to black men. White people can love. White people.
But you were just earlier saying that the men that you like aren't chasing you, and then the men that don't like you are chasing you and are treating you better than vice versa. So now you want to talk about black men are limiting black women's options. I'm not seeing these white boys. It's already 2022. I ain't seeing no more Jacob Masons or any of these little lame white boys claiming to be so into black women. That season's over with. ain't nobody. You can go to a college campus, a PWI, or an international school anywhere in the country and world, without being biased. Just ask them, hey, what type of race of women are you most interested in dating? Black women will not even be in the top 3. It'll most likely be probably like a Western, Eastern European, Asian, and then Latina. You know, you guys are kind of full of yourselves, man.
I love. You have that African mother, and you're getting older, and she don't see the grandchildren. She's like, you know what? Just date whoever you want to date.
Yeah, I can tell that they already gave up, and low key, I wouldn't be surprised if she's gay. They probably just think she's gay, and they're just giving up on her.
Yes, that goes without saying.
Chocolate king, like, I want to taste the melanin, all this, like.
My queen, my like Nubian princess.
But the thing is about fetishization, yeah. I think we all do it to each other.
And that's why I say, man, I think these niggas like slavery, man. They kind of wanted to go bad, but this is what they want. They want like a sexual slavery to where they're just having sex and having this kind of minuscule relationship with white folks just so they can be taunted around and just say, hey, I gave the white boy that black pussy. I gave that black girl. I gave that white girl the black D, the mandingo. You know, these dudes are just pathetic. And I'm really surprised and embarrassed that the UK has some decent and beautiful women, but I'm looking at this shit to where like, damn, how the hell does nobody in this fucking in this video wants to date each other? Like, what's up with that? You know,
I like me some chocolates, so.
Everyone expects you to have the long strong, innit? They want you to be the mandingo fighter, so, or at least you have to lay down the smackdown properly. Like.
Oh God, don't come near me, don't touch me.
Can't repeat some of these things on camera.
Never. Thank God, because I will deck you in your face, fam.
How do you think they use
no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't even touch that white boy.
black women in comparison to black men?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you because I'm not a black woman. However,
I'm very aware of desirability politics, so I understand that as a black woman, I am not considered to be at the top of what men want, even men within my own race.
When you see black men like...
Not true. Majority of black men want black women. Across, maybe I can't speak for the international, the African, but at least in America, we can say that I'm pretty sure even the majority of Africans want, or majority of black people in the UK want black people. There's just no way that you can just. I wouldn't even believe it was 50-50. I'll probably say it's probably like 40-60, you know, or maybe 30-70, 30% prefer to be in an interracial relationship. But come on, come on.
Asian black women, it's just like, what? Like, your mom's literally like darkening her. Like, what are you doing? Like?
Okay, if you're gonna use the shaming tactics of your mama black, use the same shaming tactics on these women who were asking for white boys to love them and begging white boys to treat them with respect. Hey, your daddy black. Oh, that's not an insult. How come? How come that doesn't reinforce you to stay with the black man? You were just talking about how dating niggas were limiting you and all that dumb shit. Yet these other races of men don't even want you. You're not even on the top of their list.
Can just, you know, two things, like beard and have a decent job.
Black women have so much to offer.
Women have to be the table instead of bringing something to the table.
Okay, it's funny that they bring this. Black women have to be the table because because you were just talking about being with these white boys. So what is it? Why do you have to bring a table and you have to put all this extra shit on it? So again, they're really contradicting themselves.
A space too, and I feel like now they're creating their own space in their own lane.
Don't let them pick us, guys. We pick them.
You're breaking the barriers.
Okay, you can pick them all you want. We've already established they aren't picking you. They're not accepting you. Y'all trying to act bold. We're gonna pick the guys we want to date. Okay, I mean, ain't nobody slipping roofies in your party cup, trying to get a quickie off you. There's no educated lames. There's no ugly niggas doing that shit. So I'm not sure what you think or mean or trying to threaten us with when you say that we pick them. But you're probably the same type of bitch that would say we don't pick our baby daddies.
Learn from that too, black men especially.
Do you think there's a stereotype that black men have to live up to date successfully?
Yeah.
A guy has said to me that he can not date someone that earns more than him.
To do certain things or be in certain positions by a certain age or achieve certain things because of your background.
Spending your last £500 on a designer bag or t-shirt and then you're broke, like.
I feel like if you don't fulfill them stereotypes, I don't think you'd get a woman.
Alright, I'm kind of bored with this one. I'm gonna call it in.